Hey fam, what's going on? This is Jessica Pickens. Welcome to Pickens Realities, our Blended Family Truths podcast.
We're of age. Woo! No, I'm kidding.
We can drink.
Episode 21. Welcome back, guys.
Deuce one.
Thanks for coming to Pickens Realities and Blended Family Truths, where we talk about blended family matters because blended families matters. I'm the elite, Jayla, the greatest, all-knowing, the monarch of the Pickens family.
I should say monarch. I am the monarch's father. I am the elite's father. The obsolete's father. You don't know what obsolete means?
No.
I am.
The question that you're going to get asked is, who are you referring to that's obsolete?
Remember, I
Dawson's
said.
going to be the first one to ask that.
Right.
Dawson's going to be
Remember when y'all asked for a dog and I was like, one of y'all got to lead.
Yeah.
Niggas like, Jayla can go. No, I am Tyrone. I'm the father of this interesting baddie clan. Welcome into our home, and we hope you're getting something out of all of our pitfalls. Just kidding.
And good stuff. Like, whoa.
Oh, my bad.
Conversations, discussions.
I hope you're getting something
Calvin,
from
we're
our...
going to have to put a limit on the
You
what
know what?
is going on.
I just want to
here.
say something. I have always loved your neck, your bust area, and I think that is so sexy right there. You thought I said butt area?
Like, wrong place, wrong time,
No,
buddy boy.
I just looked over there and I'm like, man, this.
Thank you. Pause there. Thank you. I appreciate it.
She like, don't say nothing else.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I am Jessica. I am the mom. She is over there cringing.
Like,
I am the mom of the Pickenses, of Pickens Realities. And as we
what is that face for?
sharing all
Must be nice.
Must be nice. I can't sing either.
No, none of that. Thank you. All right, what are we talking about today, Marsha?
All right, today we're talking about love, lies, and McDonald's fries.
What?
I'm joking. Loyalty, boundaries, love, opposite sex relationships. We're about to dig it.
Conversations.
Dig in.
Yeah,
Get you a bowl of popcorn and some ice.
There was some. I received a text message late in the evening after that last episode, asking.
Last episode? You mean the one on?
Oh, several episodes back. The one about communication or whatever.
Yeah.
When you guys were talking about the heated exchange we had. But we received some inquiries about the male side. Is that where we're at? Is that what we're talking about?
Male perspective and female perspective.
It sounds like we had the female perspective. Did we?
We had part of it.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Offering time.
See, getting hot. He over there like, All right, so let's dive into it. Jayla is a favorite in the family. Who wrote that? That's crazy. Whoa, yeah. So, boom. I wrote these in chronological order, but I think I'm going to go.
Chrono or numerical?
You wrote them in the order you thought you were going to ask them. You said.
Is that not chronological? Just don't quote me, y'all.
Right.
Just don't even quote me.
I wrote them in a specific manner.
Okay, you know what? Let's start it off spicy. Cheating. What is cheating to you?
On your taxes?
My God. Like, what?
On your taxes or...
In a relationship. And let's not even say a relationship, because like I was just saying, it's levels to this. In a marriage, what do you all classify as cheating?
Oof. Is that...
I'm like, good God, why are we starting out there? What in the world?
Because there's so much to talk about, and everything plays into what we're talking about. Okay? What do you classify as cheating? Do you classify texting, the opposite sex? Do you classify flirting as cheating? Do you classify
According to your mom, I was dry flirting the other day, but that's a whole nother conversation. I don't know.
Please have at it.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Just go ahead.
No, I think from what I've learned, what I've seen in my lifetime, there's emotional. There's emotional. There's physical. I mean, I've heard people say, I have a work wife or a work husband. So I think that's like situational.
Situational.
Yeah,
that ain't
But
visible.
that's not cheating. But the context of what you're referring to, I mean, unless you, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. She was asking you what your definition was. I mean, that's.
No, I'm saying.
Because I've used that for like years ago. Remember when I was in a different realm, be like, oh, that's my work. I guess I didn't say work husband. We had a different
Side
phrase.
piece.
No, good God, no.
I don't know.
But anyway, please go ahead with your definition of.
No, I mean those are the only ones that I can think of. I mean,
You're still not defining it.
What do you mean?
I said, what do you classify as cheating? What is your classification as cheating?
So watch this.
And I'm asking this question because it plays into what we're talking about.
Right. So I just thought about my definition. The definition of cheating for me is getting anything outside of your marriage that you expect to get inside of your marriage, i.e., there's a mental connection, there's a spiritual connection, there's a physical connection. All of those things are inside of your marriage. And so if you're not being fulfilled in one of those areas outside or inside your marriage, if you're seeking that somewhere else, that's considered cheating. Oh, Lord Jesus, I'm in trouble.
In your turn?
She like sharp, 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 sharp.
I think that
Your eyebrows are cute too.
thank you.
I mean, they are. I'm loving the little package you got over here.
She cute.
I know.
I think that obviously there's the kind of black and white, like non-negotiable. If you have sex, you're married and you have sex with someone that's not your spouse, like bam, right? Foundational, just actual intercourse, right? So I think there's, and I know other people define it differently.
Right,
I'm
right.
not talking about that. I'm talking about,
All we did was mess around.
But I think to your point there, I think you can find yourself when you're going through roller coasters, because I think you also have to bring in my perspective, there's kind of there can be times where you're in a lull or whatever may have you, or you're facing challenges and you find yourself you said when you're getting fulfilled. So there's a difference in seeking and intention versus you look up and you discover, because you've had a lull, or you've hit a rough patch, that you've got a connection or you're being fulfilled emotionally or mentally through conversations or whatever with someone else outside from your spouse that's fulfilling an area of need that for whatever reason is not getting fulfilled in your marriage at that time. But you may not have been looking for that. You know what I'm saying? So there's like levels to like what's going on that you have to pay attention to when you're talking about your marriage and the sanctity thereof, and how do you protect?
Yeah, it's the things that movies are made of. What's
going on? You know what I mean? Because it's real, and there's just people are people, and we're needy by nature, and so you could start out in one place and then you end up someplace else, and then you look up and you go, oh, whoa, this is a problem or whatever may have you. And, but did you intend for it to go there? And there could be no physicality to it at all. To your point, do I think that it's a problem and a concern if you are being emotionally fulfilled by someone outside of your marriage in a way that your spouse should be? Absolutely. Do I think I categorize that as cheating? I think that you have to assess, how did that come to be? And then if you look up and you find that that's where you are, did you do something about it? You know what I mean? Or did you continue on? So then I know that some people may not agree with that. That's fine. But you live and you learn. And, again, after 22 years of marriage, we've been through a lot, and I just, what used to seem to be something so black and white, ooh, what is cheating? You know what I mean? And you go, well, of course, having sex outside of your marriage is cheating, period. Point blank, bottom line. I think that there are other areas, like you said, where you have to go, wait a minute, this is turned into, even if there's no sex, is there an emotional or spiritual relationship that you've engaged in with someone outside of your marriage that's not your spouse, that is fulfilling a need that you have? And what does that mean? What do you call that? And what do you do about it? You know what I mean?
Okay. Next question. What is transparent communication to you?
This should be easy for you.
Why should it be easy for me?
Because you that's one of your biggest words.
What is transparent communication for you?
I feel like this is a trick question for some reason.
It's your question. It's your answer. I don't have no fixed answer. I'm just asking, what is transparent communication in your eyes? What does it mean to be transparent in communication to you?
As I'm hearing you now, and that's.
Well, I think
that's Pandora's
number
box.
one, I used to think that transparent communication, 100% transparent communication, telling it 100% like it is, was what you should do all the time. And my opinion on that has changed. I don't think that that's appropriate in all circumstances, in all situations, at all times anymore. I don't, because I understand that sometimes you wind up either frustrating yourself or creating a mountain out of a molehill, or hurting someone unnecessarily by doing such. So, but what do I think transparent communication is? I think that it can be defined a couple of different ways. One, of course, if I'm just giving you 100% where I'm at, and I'm being 100% transparent about how I feel, what my opinion is, what my stance is on something, I'm just telling you exactly where I'm at. I also think that you can be transparent in a way where you may not be divulging 100% of exactly where you are, but still be communicating the foundation of what needs to be understood or stated or discussed, without including 100% details for the sake of, again, still achieving the goal at hand without it being hurtful or sloppy or messy unnecessarily. We're emotional beings. And so a lot of times, if you start talking out of where you are emotionally, you can say a lot of things that once it's said, once it's out there, you cannot take it back. And it could be a very temporary thing, and it could cause long-term or sometimes even permanent damage in a way that's unnecessary. And I had to grow, that's a maturity factor. I had to grow up and learn, that's not always the right path to go.
What about you?
So a lot of what Jess said, I agree with. One thing that we've had to work on, and I learned from my mentor, our spiritual, advisor, Elder Walton, was you can't tell your wife everything. And he meant that with respect, because there's just some things that your wife or even your husband may not be able to handle. And it's not that you're being facetious. It's just you're protecting. Your goal is to protect where you are. And so, to Jessica's point, there was a time in our relationship where she had to know all the beans, all the workings, all the bells, all the whistles. And so that did cause some it was a heartache. It was a roller coaster for us because there was just certain things that I wouldn't give her. And she's like, no, I need to know X, Y, and Z. And then when you fast forward to where we are now, I've told her there are things that I know that I cannot tell you and I won't. And then there are some things that have been divulged. And she was like, yeah, I'm glad you didn't tell me that when we were in the middle of it, because it would have devastated her. So, I mean, there are things about the kids that I know about each of you that I've not shared with her because I know how she feels about her children. And so, to answer your question,
stop with the face.
Because I'm trying to figure out what
I got dirt
she
on
know
all.
about me or you know about me that she don't know.
I got dirt.
Because everybody know everything about me.
I got dirt on all y'all. So, to answer your question, transparency is what you think is relevant to keep your relationship whole. And I say that carefully.
I was like, ooh.
I say that very carefully. And so if there's
applying a level of transparency, using wisdom and applying levels of transparency.
See, that's why we're together. That's why she's the yin to my yang.
What you have figured out keeps things safer.
Right. And as long as that
transparency is transparency.
Right. That level of transparency, like you talked about, there is tiers. As long as when you get to the top of that tier ain't no bomb, then I think that's okay. I mean, if it's a firecracker, I can deal with that. But if it's a bomb.
And I used to want to know about all the firecrackers, and now I'm like,
which she thought they were bombs.
You have to learn how to don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes the firecrackers be having the cheese man.
Just makes
Okay. So I asked those two questions because now we're going to dive into possible shortcomings on my dad's side.
Oh, here we go. Can I get a Band-Aid?
I'm gonna
a tourniquet? A tourniquet?
What? So we previous episode we're talking about the trip to McKendree, right? And the coffee.
Oh my gosh.
So it's begged a lot of our viewers, like, what is going on? Like a male perspective versus female perspective. And so I asked what they believe cheating is, and I asked what they believe transparent communication is, because when you get in the thick of situations, you may think you know what a situation is, but you have no idea, right? So, Dad, let's open up the can of beans on you and Sally and Ariel and Snow White and the coffee. So,
Snow White.
I want to know.
Were dwarves.
Oh, and for all points and purposes too, like what caught a lot of people's attention was this promo reel where, our favorite, thebomb.com videographer, so intelligently titled it.
Wait, which one of our videographers? We have to. How close is too close when you're married? Or I'm trying to remember exactly what the phrase was, but it was speaking to when I was describing when I discovered the text message group that you belong to, unbeknownst to me.
So, Dad is a jubilee.
A non-stop party, baby.
That's why
everywhere we can go to a McDonald's drive-thru, you pull up, they like, and it's just a whole bunch of chiclets just slapping together, right? So, given someone that I guess has a naturally flirtatious energy to him.
Yeah. Good
What made you think it was okay for you to be bringing coffee to people at work?
Not people. Be very specific.
The women, the few women.
Females.
Don't, oh my gosh, yes. What made you think that was okay? What made you think it was... go ahead. Answer. What made you think that was okay?
So, let me put it into context. So, that group...
It's a lie. You're coming up with a lie right now. No, I'm joking.
No, she ain't. So, in context, that group of people... So in the company, and I won't name the company because it's the company that I worked for, we went through a training process and you had a class. And so the class was anywhere from 15 to 25 people at a time. And so if you didn't pass certain parts of the class,
People fall off. Okay.
So this particular class, we ended up, there's like 15 of us or so. And of those 15 people, there were only 2 guys. And of those 2 guys, I was one, there was another one, and they did not like the other person, the other guy. And so we
What's that got to do with you?
I'm giving you context.
Okay.
And so when you're in this class, you're in a actual physical room for 8 hours a day, learning all these things you're supposed to learn before you get to go into production. And so we spent for like 2 months in this room every single day. We took lunch together, smoke breaks, whatever. And so
he don't smoke.
And I don't smoke. So we formed a bond. And so because of where we worked, once we all got out of the class, we would still be, some of us would be on a specific shift. And so if one of us was not there or coming in, to our shift and the other ones hadn't made it there, we might hit the group text like, hey, can you bring coffee or whatever? And so we were just like a little tribe. And that's really all it was. So it wasn't anything malicious. So we spent those 2 months getting to know each other. We knew that we were all married or they had significant others. You spent a lot of time with people. And so it was just our little tribe. And even more context, when I got sick originally, for the first time, one of those people sent a picture while I was in surgery. I think they sent a picture or something. And as soon as I came to, she's like, who is this? And I'm like, that's my friend. Now, mind you, to this day, that particular person has done work for you. And that particular person, we've had dinner with her and her husband, and she's one of my buds. She really is. Another one of them, we've gone to a party with some of those people at that party that were on that list at her house with her husband. I did some work for one of them. I built a deck around one of them's pool. You were involved with that. So it wasn't like I was just out here, when you look in the phone, it says Bob, and it's all, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. And so it wasn't like.
So from your perspective, it was like we were genuinely friends and you was just being a friend.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, from my perspective, you're a liar, cheat. You look like your son when you lying. Don't get it. I'm joking.
But yeah, that's, and I think it's what I said earlier. There was nothing being fulfilled. And I'll say this other piece. The company that I worked in, it was predominantly females in the division that I worked in. That's just what it was.
Okay. So what made you think it was okay to bring the coffee? Is because you felt as though we're just cool. We buddies.
Yeah.
Ride together, die together, bad boys for life.
So
would you have been okay with her doing that?
So watch this. So to answer your first question, yeah, we ride together, we die together. We would go and get lunch for one another. Who's going out for lunch? Can you grab me this or that? Because there was like in that location, only like 1 or 2 places. So we would place orders. And then when I went to the different city's office, the person that works for you now, or, that's in consulting, we would go.
Yeah, but let's be clear. That individual was not a part of this group text that we're talking about.
They were.
They were in a different location.
I know, but they didn't start in that location. They were a part of that text. I'm telling you.
Well, that wasn't the individual doing the
Call her up now and ask her. Call her up now and ask her.
But there were multiple. So there were, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 females in this group chat with you, but there was one that ain't none of the ones we talking about that. Don't look at me like that. I don't even remember her name at this point because I
don't either. But
Kabosh, right? And so. But particularly because she was the one that asked about you coming to whatever get together. and then had asked several times, were you coming? And again, it was not, are you and your wife coming? It was, are you coming?
So anytime there was a get together, and I only went to one, and that one I took you with me.
We ain't talking about that.
He was saying anytime there was a get together, what happened?
Anytime there was a get together, I did not go. And the one that we did go to, you were with me. So again, it's not like they didn't know you existed.
I'm clear, but that's not the point. The point that I was making in the other episode when we were talking about communication, where again, you're the one that begged on this conversation or from the sidebars.
That wasn't the conversation I was talking about, but anyway.
And so nonetheless, the point being that people can know that you're married, you know.
They have to respect it. I agree.
They can be married themselves or be involved themselves. But when you see and sense that there may be an inkling or a desire, or, you know, that if it feels uncomfortable or feels like it's crossing lines and boundaries to you, like to me, it was uncomfortable. The way that some of that was coming across there was uncomfortable. And I guess the biggest thing too was, have I always known everywhere you go, there's like more, you always wind up working with like a group of women, like
more
seriously.
Women than men. Like it'd be crazy.
And it just you know,
because he's a girl dad.
When I apply, I'm like, are there more women than men?
Cut it out. And so
sick.
But
how many girls are at your?
I think that you just have to, and I have had to invest a significant amount of time coaching you up on the fact that what you deem to be innocent friendliness,
hey honey,
is on the other side
What's
of the fence.
Your phone number?
You know,
I know my wife's right here.
You know,
I'm not gonna lie, that's literally probably how it felt. Like, I know my wife's right here, but what's going on?
Another example that I'm sure he does not want me to discuss.
What?
Not
say it. Say it.
Let me tell it.
No. Let her tell it from her point of view.
This was a very challenging issue for me. I'm
salivating at the right now
because literally when you said even the drive-through at McDonald's, like I'm like, I used to be like, do you think this is funny? Because we would pull up to McDonald's. So I got two things. We would pull up to McDonald's and he would do these voice imitations. I would like to be having a small fry, you know, and I'd be looking at him like, what are you doing? You know, and then he pulls up to the window. He pulls up to the window like, hey, how are you doing? And they're looking all confused and then smiling, you know, so it was just, and I would say to him all the time, you think this is cute? She thinks you're flirting. And then the female in the window was looking at me like, oh, your man is so. And I'm looking like, do you not see what's. He's like, I'm just having fun. And I'm like, no.
Because who gonna check me, boo? It's me against you in that drive-through window.
No.
Okay?
You know, and so I'd be like, no. And so it was, and again, as a woman who unfortunately has had in many previous relationships, I was cheated on. Well, one, it still is just inappropriate. Like, because I would also explain to you that I'm sorry, but females out here be thirsty.
I didn't think that's the word she used. She didn't say females, but anyway.
You know, but at the end, first of all, I don't even talk like that, so cut it out.
Anymore. Jesse B's in there.
we let Jesse B.
Oh, see that? See that?
Right.
You didn't get Jesse B at Sam's. So let me tell you
happened
the
story.
Here we go. So let me qualify.
No. Let her say it. Let her say it in her point of view.
Open this can of worms, now we just gonna go down the bunny hole.
Wait.
Again,
I was wrong. Period. I was wrong.
You were dead wrong.
I was dead wrong. I was out of pocket.
We are at
But
Sam's.
I didn't mean it maliciously.
We are at, but see, that's, you know how it's be
that's
like,
what they are.
It was an accident.
It was an accident.
Wait, why
you keep playing?
Okay, let me lower my
Go
voice.
ahead, 5 side teeth missing.
Down, because, Jesus. And I had a witness on this one. What was even more embarrassing is that his best friend was with us at Sam's.
And he shunned me. Yeah,
yes.
he was like, dog.
We are at Sam's.
He's like, dog, you filed for that.
We are at Sam's, checking out. Sam's. It's Sam's.
Can you mute her mic, please?
He's paying. Okay.
Because I got the money.
Homegirl is ringing him out. Black female. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm looking at groceries. My husband says to the female woman checking us out of Sam's, girl, you wearing them boots.
Why everybody in the room looking at me?
So
Even Calvin, he like,
I stood there.
his socks got tall.
And what does the female do? First thing she do is what? She look at me like, thank you. And I'm looking at him like, Ninja, you have lost your
that is
forever
crazy.
So every bit of Jesus that I had learned about up to this point was working hard to stand up on the inside so that I did not embarrass me, him, and Al.
See, I told you she's abusive.
And or cut it out.
You heard her just threaten me?
I'm watching it, and I looked at him like, you have lost your mind.
And I felt it. I did.
And Al is horrified by this point because he's going, I could just, and so we walk outside. I wait. I don't.
Y'all all rode in the same car?
Yes.
Yeah, he was
We
with
were all
us.
together.
I don't know why we were together, but anyway.
We walk outside, and it took because I'm at this point trying to be a mature grown-up, a wife, a mother of 6 kids, and not turn into someone who I was never a fighter. I wasn't even, but let me tell you something. I felt so disrespected. We walked outside and I said, if you ever in your life do that again, I was livid. I was like, you are always flirting. What? I said, Al, you better talk to your friend. Right? I said, how could you even, you're going to stand here as a grown man and act like you don't know what you just did? That was so, and I felt so disrespected. But and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
You know, Dad, you got a good one. Because I would have been silent the entire time. We all would have loaded all the stuff in. We would have closed that door. I would have locked the door. No. I would have locked the door.
The goat?
No. I would have locked the doors. I would have went around to the driver's side with the keys. And I'm like, you is wearing them shoes, huh? Wear them home. Got in the car and left you because you have me bent. You and your buddy walking home because y'all have me bent.
But
You're
it was he literally. And I was like, how can you not understand what you just did?
So why does it feel like men always be like, it's not that bad? But if I was to do it, your skin falling off.
The pride.
Like, you be ready to.
The pride.
So
ego.
hold on now. Now you were, thank you for sharing that. And I own that. And I own that. But I do want to address something that you said. You said, how would I feel if she was doing the same thing at her job, correct? Mm-hmm. And in her previous occupation, I used to say she had a harem because, cut it out.
I didn't have a harem.
The CO situation or the Capitol?
The Capitol.
She did used to be wearing them dress pants, though.
You see her face?
Who's that lady?
No, I wasn't bringing coffee to people.
Right.
I worked in an atmosphere of majority men.
No, you didn't bring coffee because you guys were not in close proximity all the time. But I'm saying whenever I come on the set,
and each and every one of them knew you.
Whenever
I went somewhere, there was a text, and it was, "Where are you in Tyrone?" Like each and every one of them.
Each and every one of the people on that text in my office knew you too.
But hold on. Muggs got to catch this, though. She said every text it was where you and Tyrone. The difference between women and men know how to play their part. They could always, he's still there. It's still him. Oh, is it someone else? So it's you and Tyrone.
Watch this. One of them, a couple of them, I know for a fact that we've discussed it, wanted to drink her bath water.
Ooh.
Oh, stop.
She know I'm telling the truth. She knows that I'm telling the truth.
The difference is, one, I communicated that with you clearly. Number two, I corrected and set boundaries with those individuals.
What?
I said boundaries.
Well, that's my next question, guys.
So hold on, before we go there, watch this. We're at a specific event.
Why did you point your finger? I'm gonna need you to like
We're at this specific event.
Because I should have jumped over the chair if you've been reminiscing on the sand situation.
Oh my! We're at this specific event. We're preparing to leave. She says to me, "Hey, stand right here. I'll be right back." So we're at these big double doors. So you know when doors fold back to the wall. So I stood where the door folded back to the wall. I'm chilling. So this group of men walk up and they're having a conversation about new people or people they haven't seen or just met or whatever. And then they was like, oh, there she go, there she go. And so they started talking about this particular girl and she was cute and she was thick and all of this. And there she go came around the corner and it was her there. They was talking about her. And I'm like, oh, is this what we doing? So this is what I did to throw salt in the wound. When she came around the corner, she looked at me and I cuffed her and I'm like, let's go. And I looked at them and we walked off. So I know that in her realm, you see his look on her face? See,
I'm like, I don't even know what, but that's so different than what we are discussing.
No, it's the same. In your realm, it is predominantly male, correct? In that realm at that time, it's predominantly male.
Correct.
There were meetings that you had that were predominantly male meetings, correct? There were outings that you had that were predominantly male outings, correct? Golf outings.
It's groups of people, like hundreds of people.
Okay. But you're missing.
So your specific field, it's male dominated, basically.
And the field that I worked in, or most of them that I've worked in, have been predominantly female.
But the point of what we're talking about here, because that stuff is going to happen. This is in no way, shape, or form is that unique to us, right? So, but at the end of the day, the issue at hand that we have struggled with is, as Jayla so politely categorized you in the beginning as, I can't even remember how you said it. Basically, it's not that you are intentional or have been intentional with your flirting. It is almost like you were oblivious, or at least you acted oblivious. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that seriously, because you would act like you didn't know what you were doing, when to me and everybody else, it was very, very apparent, at least to me and the females on the other side of your acts of kindness and silliness and being you're a jokester, right? But it's like for me, I sincerely grappled with how you could not understand or sense or just plainly see that what you were doing was crossing inappropriate boundaries.
I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Probably a triple-edged sword. First sword is way of life before you, right? What he's experienced, blah, 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 blah. And when that sort of stuff was happening, that was more or less in like the beginning parts of your marriage, probably like first 1 to 6 years of your marriage, right? Not saying, it never stopped.
Remember,
but
the McKendry was when Dominic was in college.
The drive flirting was yesterday.
Right.
Like,
I was not oh my Lord.
It's this male lady that like our dad.
I get that. Stop.
And he be nice to all the male people, because like when it be cold, he'll give them like hot chocolate. And so she swear up and down that my dad want her. She swear up and down.
Stop, Jayla, don't do that.
I thought that was your daddy. That's what she said. They cool people, but people be attracted to who they attracted to, whatever.
Well, I mean, there is no substantive proof to your account, but I will say this: in the situation,
can I finish my third-edged sword?
Go ahead.
So, way of life before you. The second is the way of life before him. What you've experienced and all the things that you've experienced in your life.
That's good.
And then 3, the third thing for me is your self-security and love. But I also feel like, because like me personally, if I'm dealing with a guy that like sits and talks to any and every woman and a flirt and a kiki in his brain, he's like, what? I'm just being nice. I'm like, boy. But in the same breath, it'd be like, bro, I already know what it is. You coming home with Big Mama. Yeah, I ain't worried about you. But then in the same breath, again, people do also have to realize everyone else's perspective. Because while you may think, oh, nice, or this is funny. She done went through what she went through, and it's like, wow, you're discounting my life and who I am and what I've experienced, all because you're trying to be funny. So you want to be funny, like, do you want to be together? So that brings me to my next question, which is boundaries. So when you're in a marriage with someone who is genuinely a flirtatious person, and you're dealing with someone that's more reserved, more respectful, for all points and purposes, more, I don't even want to say the words more into you, but more like, I'm all about you and everything else is blurred out. How do you set boundaries in these situations for you guys' type of situation?
So I can tell you what in retrospect, yeah, I'm funny and I like to, kick it with people. But I will tell you that in that scenario, in retrospect, yeah, I was a bit over the line, a lot over the line. But I can also tell you that as I've grown, every female that I come in contact with, I immediately compare them to my wife. Immediately.
But for what? Because do you like them? Do you want to deal with them?
No, it's just my safety mechanism. It's my way of saying, I have conversations with guys all the time. When we did the prison stuff, I would talk to guys and they talk to me about, how do you stay married? How have you been able to stay married for so long? What about other women and this and that? And my response to them is the same gratification that you can get outside of your home, you can have inside of your home without the nonsense. So it doesn't matter how it's packaged. The end goal that you're after is the same that you would receive at home. And what looks good while you're out there, when you open it up,
the grass ain't always green.
It's not always greener. And as Jessica said before, neither of us are in the mode to raise or train someone else. And so that's just not how I was trying to or meant to be operating. And so my point was that I was just starting with is every time that, somebody approaches me or whatever the scenario is, I take them apart. Like, my wife has a job. My wife, everything that I do or every time that happens or if it happens, I put them up against her. And so nobody can hold water to her as far as I'm concerned.
Which I'm okay with because we're not blind. And so the reality is this, there are people, and I have come to realize you have to figure out your process for we're not stuck in this house for the rest of our lives, not seeing anybody else that's smart, that's beautiful, that looks good, that has a good job, or you know what I'm saying?
A Jerry curl.
Has, what'd you say?
A Jerry curl.
That better not be on this next version. It needs to be voided out.